Let me show you what's the day ahead. Look at that. Even that bird likes it. How can you not like it? So, it might affect my mood. I don't know. It might make me hope that I may go for an adventure this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I'm reading a message, not a message, a post of a Facebook friend. He's not a friend, but I connected with this guy on Facebook. We have one thing in common: flying. That's it. So, and I'm looking at this guy previous posts, and he is one of those anarchists. Like he's not really too bad, but one of those who have a problem with the system. I met so many of those, and honestly, it depends what type of world you navigate in. If you make some choices, then you will attract certain energy. So in the past, I was not too bad, but I was one of those, captivated by this type of trends. Like, people who have power manage to exploit everyone else, and it's true, and I still believe that. It's like, but there is a difference. I managed to not react because I figured long since I was a kid, I figured that I can't do much about it. So it's like you oppose or you react, and you have an emotion. And some people have such powerful emotions, they go out and they fight. They go out on the streets and they get killed. Okay, and they know that, but the emotion is more powerful than the survival, because they have those unspoken feelings. And of course, when it's a crowd mentality, when like some guys who lost their thinking, their logics, and they act with a primitive brain that makes them not think logically. They go out on the street, they do protests, and they break stuff. And other people who have similar emotions, now they find an opportunity to express, because they think, we are so many, they can't do anything to us, or they are not going to arrest 2,000 people, stuff like that. So those people most likely act with their primitive brain that makes them lose the logics, and it's a fight or flight mechanism. So once you recognize your emotions, and how is your thinking? Is like, am I cool? Am I taking my time and process the information and all the available information and make a decision? Or I go with whatever I see first, like if someone is attacking me, what I'm doing, I run, or I fight back, or I analyze if I have time. Generally, you don't have time, but if you get attacked. But there are situations like, how people in politics manipulate the crowds, how they use your emotions to control you. Yeah, you can analyze. You have enough time. You have enough time to think, analyze. Is that going to lead me to a positive outcome for me and for everyone else, or I'm fighting a system that it's well organized for hundreds of years. They pass the wealth and the knowledge and the military power and the political power from hands to hands, generation to generation. So how this system is organized? Do I have a chance? And what's my role here on Earth? Is that a reason to have this type of powerful political leaders, or it's just random stuff, like whoever has the bigger muscles. But why someone has a bigger muscles? Why have someone has a brain that makes that person focus on the money? What's that emotion? Why they have these emotions, and where the emotions come from? Are they from the DNA, or they learn from the parents? Do they love it? Do they love to have power and money? Do they love greed? So if we think deeper into this type of human emotions and analyze those who do that stuff, we analyze those who are workers for the whole life. We analyze those who love to fight and kill, or maybe wants to protect or defend, wants to become police officers. Like I have a brother, we are totally different. He dreamt since he was a kid to become a police officer. Now he's not a police officer, but that was his dream since he was a kid. So it was something that made him think that way, get some emotions, to love to look at the cops and stuff like that. And now he is one of those righteous guy. He is fighting for a cause. It's not a cause that I want to join. I think he is on the wrong path. He's not against the government, anything like that. But he, in his mind, from his perspective, the people who do what they do and they fight against, but not fight physically, but with his posts and thinking, he thinks that those are corrupt and do bad things. So from a perception, we have just a seed. Let me see where the bus goes. So we have a seed in our mind, and we tend to work around and build around that idea or that little seed and make a big concept or an idea. And most of the time we want to gain some traction, and we want allies, because we figure that, what, I can't fight the bear by myself. It's like too big of a bear, and I want some friends, some allies. And most people who have some sort of idea or ideology, or they need people, and they will post on the media, they will do that, they will get friends, join their movement, so they get power. You see these things with people protesting against the pipelines, against the government, and if you look at the same people would protest against any government. Doesn't matter who's in power, they don't like people in power. That's their way. Because if I think deep, I may see that that's a cop car. Huh. Unmarked pickup truck, black pickup truck with a cop. Anyway. If I look deeper at some of those, they have authority issues. They had parents who kept them in a tight leash, controlled them. They kind of were born in a wrong family. Or maybe they had parents with psychological problems, drinking problems, some behavior problem, and they ended up having a nasty childhood. I feel sorry for these kids. So they grow up as adults, and they have only trouble because they start becoming rebellious during their teen years. So they are like 10 years old, 12 years old. Now the hormones are kicking in, makes them respond, because most likely the testosterone makes you more aggressive, and now you have a father or a mother or a teacher who is trying to keep you in the leash, keep you in in a good manners according to their standard, but from your point of view, your standard, you feel you're being controlled. You want to have wings, you want to do things, and your hormones are raging in there, and now you want to fight back because you think, oh yeah, I'm growing bigger, I'm growing, I'm a big kid, and yeah, so all those things reflect into the adulthood. And these guys become victims of the society because they don't really fit. It's like, okay, they get the job, generally not really good job because they didn't do good in school. They get the job and they don't keep the job because they argue and fight with most people around. And they think, okay, it's the government fault. Is okay, I got fired from this company because those people who have the money, they don't like me or something, or they control me, or they try to cheat me, fool me or something. And oh yeah, my co-workers or those cocksuckers, because they want to maintain their job and they keep spying on me, they keep reporting on me. So people go through that, and these people end up losing their jobs and having enemies and stuff. But it's the way they perceive the world, because they build their own reality. So my opinion is that the world and these scammers and these political crooks and corrupt people are designed to be like that. I not always thought that way, but I figured that the world is designed to have very different type of people and behaviors and characters, and that includes this type of people, leaders, politicians. And if you look at the old history movies or books and stuff that describe the old societies, you see Egyptians have this type of people, corrupt people in their kingdom, and Greeks, and every nation. So they always been there, they will always be here. So you can't have a perfect world that matches you. It's a world that's so complicated that makes everyone contribute in a certain way, and these political leaders, with their greed and their need for money and power, they move people to get out of their comfort zone and be better and think and open and stuff. So they have a specific role. It's like their DNA was created by aliens or by God to be that way. You can't change them. If you get rid of one, another guy will take the place, because a person, a nice person or a protester will never get to the politics, because they think different way. They think this way, the politicians think that way. Politicians will run for the politics, and the protester will protest or will kind of go against something. So to conclude my video, I forgot to drink my coffee. Oh, wow. These people who go very low, doesn't matter which side, if the rebellious ones, they actually connect to low emotions. And you may think, okay, yes, but the political leaders or the corrupt people or the people in the financial world, those actually trigger the other guys. Otherwise the other guys would have a cool life. No, they would not. They would find reasons to fight something against. And corrupt people, they will always find ways to fool people and do their business the way they do. So these people are in a lower category when compared, like spiritually talking, when compared to people who are more loving or helping other people, like most doctors, most nurses, people who care about others, social workers, healers, those things, those are more associating their emotions and action with love. I mean, not everyone does that, but that's kind of the idea. And I'm not saying they are high up or something, but in a spiritual terms, they disconnect themselves from these low vibe emotions, which are hate and fear and this type of stuff. So the corrupt people and bad people, the way we see them, we can see it as good people. It depends on our optic. We can think of, they promote things, they move the society forward. That's why we have this complex hospitals and technology and the science, because all require money in our type of world. And the money comes from greed and from pushy people and from bullies and that. And so we, or the phone or the internet you use right now comes from money. Money is the driver of the economy, and the people who love money generally are kind of a low vibe. So we need those for a complex world. But they, in order to get things done, and if they see some opposing people, of course those guys will react, will get together, will get like an army involved because they have money, will get other type of help, the police, the lawmakers. They will do something to protect their assets and what they love, the money. Okay, and they will crush these little guys who are, oh, yeah, we don't love you, we don't like you, we hate you. But these guys, generally when are low vibe, they associate themselves with low vibe entities. So now I probably lost more people who watch this video. So low entities generally try to use these emotions to make people do stupid stuff, because the low energy entities, they're not low because they don't have energy, but it's like a low vibration kind of, I don't know how to explain it in normal terms. They know that people can be controlled with emotions like low vibe, which is fear and hate and dividing, stuff like that. So since they know that, they already control a bunch of these powerful people. Some people think that way, you know, these guys are controlled by some devil. And that devil, or those entities that have a bunch of little soldiers in the invisible world, they control these people who have big money, and who can control armies and, like I said, lawmakers and all that. And they know, you know, we use fear to control those, because once we control those, we control everyone else. Because if we spread fear among the population, people would stop thinking logically. They would not know what's going on, because everyone is like afraid, concerned. So I'm not saying this is about the virus, this virus. No, it generally happens all the times. So people who fall for that, for the fear and for the hate, and are very easily controlled and manipulated, because they don't think logically. And they fall for the trap, and that's the devil's trap. That's my opinion. So if you are afraid, or if you think that, you know, the powerful people control you or something, don't fall for it, because it's a trap. They want you to be manipulated. They want you to build that fear, because once you are afraid and you have a seed in your mind, you keep building and you grow, and make a huge hate out of it. And then you join these other people who are hateful, and you will get crushed, because the devil controls the army, the devil controls the destruction, and control all those emotions about destroying the life, including supporting those who pollute the environment, and companies who are all about money. Those are kind of a devil's work. It could be a better devil. It's not only one entity, like one devil. I don't know. It could be different entities that are working for a negative energy. So I'm not familiar with this type of stuff, that I just connect the dots. So if it makes sense, that's up to you. Take care. Bye-bye.